We're in Cheyenne, Wyoming today at the local John Deere dealer here looking at our new Gator. Yes, that's right. It's Christy and I got a new Gator here in Wyoming. It's going to spend some time in Colorado. It's the Honor Edition Gator. Today though, we're going to put tracks on it. That's right, tracks from Camso. Let's get started. Got a couple guys here going to help me with the install. Ryan and Jaron. Truth is, they've already done this. I was hoping that this would be straight out of the box and we would all experience this together, but they just couldn't stand to keep from doing it without me, right?
Correct.
So anyway, you've already done it. We'll try to talk about, I think there's a couple of pieces that were already left on it that you installed before, but we'll show you some of the highlights. This is not a step-by-step install video. You can go to Camso's website and they'll show you all the step-by-step, but we're going to hit the highlights and see what it looks like. I guess with two of you, you'll just do both sides at the same time, right?
They're kind of hard to move around, so we kind of need two people on one track.
Yeah, they're not that heavy. You know, that's probably, what, 60 pounds, 50 pounds?
Yeah.
Not that heavy, but I bet it's just kind of going to be awkward to get where we need to position them. Now this Gator's got these new tires on it. I don't know what the name of these tires are, but they're a little more roadworthy tire.
They're the all-terrain.
All-terrain, is that what they call them?
And then the special edition rims too.
Yeah, those rims look cool. I know that the tires I have on our Gator in Indiana, they just don't hold up to thorns and stuff that we encounter out in the brush. So these look a little tougher in some ways, and then I think would be more roadworthy too. The instructions explicitly say to start at the rear first. Now this is a bracket we're going to put on right down here somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah.
So we
Take this guy out.
Okay. And that bracket is going to be so that we can keep this angle of approach, or what do you call it?
Angle of attack.
Angle of attack.
Yep.
Attack angle just right. So this spring here will attach right here.
You just got to pry this knuckle out just a little bit to get this bolt to line up with everything.
So this bracket that the guys just put on has to be taken off if we take the tracks off. And the reason is because it'll dig into the side of the tire. It sticks down too much to get into the side of the tire. Still, it was only 2 bolts actually, and so it's not that big of a deal. So those lug bolts are just, they're hard to reach in there, aren't they?
They are hard to reach, yep.
The hub's kind of got a double indention here, and getting your fingers into that inner area is quite difficult. I say quite difficult. It'd be quite difficult for me, but
Maybe you've had some.
Ryan and Jaron will handle it easy because they're the pros.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit too low, isn't it? The track is.
Yeah.
I got one.
Show us this tool you've concocted here, Ryan.
So this is a socket with 2 magnets. Matco, I believe, does make a actual magnet socket, but what we're finding is it's helpful because it holds the lug bolt or wheel bolt.
Okay, so pull one of those magnets off. That's just a simple little magnet.
Yeah.
And by adding that on there, you're magnetizing the socket.
Yep. And then this is just like a little handheld ratchet. That way we're able to tighten it and make sure we got all the threads on.
Right, instead of using your fingers, which you can never keep it straight.
Yep. That is correct.
Perfect. Having the right tools is amazing.
I think if you get it completely off both sides, put it in neutral, that'll definitely help you install this, because then you'll be able to get like a lineup bar and just turn that hub enough to...
Just enough to get things lined up.
Yep.
What is this you're prying here? What are we prying it for, Ryan?
This knuckle here. So basically this bolt just gets bound up in there.
Okay, so a little pry just to help it out.
Yep, just give her a little wiggle, and same thing when you go back in.
Are there holes in that bolt for the grease to come out?
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Yeah, there's one. Okay.
I can't see at the angle.
Same guy prying and
There you
pushing, it makes it easier, doesn't it?
Yep. You know where you're going.
You can feel it.
I have to spin this one a little bit before we can start. So this is where we ran into problems first time.
if we try to spin
well,
this,
we won't be able to spin that now for sure because it's sitting on the ground.
Yeah, that's
And
that's
so
where
can we slide this back and spin it a little?
you can, but it
And
likes
then-
to go back to where it was.
kind of spring loaded.
Kind of got a. Oh, I see. Because the rubber's probably kind of got used
So
to
that's
it.
that's something we are trying to better understand on how to do this.
I got the top bolt lined up. Just need to come up a little with the track. And
Okay, you want
once,
to hold the track like that? I'll try.
yeah.
You got it.
How's that look? I can also move
up.
back and forth.
Come up with this one, and then over that way. Boy, this is easier with 3 people.
It really is.
Well, I wouldn't count myself as a whole person.
Okay, this is
Except at the lunch
easier
table.
with 2 extra hands.
There we go.
First thing we noticed when they took the jack stands out is how much taller it's going to be. It's really going to have a much higher ride. That should help in the snow. That's right, we're taking this to the snow tomorrow. Never mind that it's the end of April. From what we understand where we're going, there's a lot of snow remaining. Unless they added that after my 2018. So while the guys are working on the other side, I'll show you this piece here. Now this brings back some not so good memories for me. If you remember, maybe if you've been watching our channel a long time, when we first got our 2018 Gator, well, not when we first got it, but somewhat later, I allowed a couple of 14-year-old girls to just take off and have a good time with the Gator. Well, they did, but the result was that my upper A-arm got bent. And so I find that kind of interesting in light of what's going on here. Camso has provided an upper A-arm stiffener that goes right here to stiffen that upper A-arm, presumably for that very reason. Now, Ryan and Jaron had to drill holes for these back two. The holes were available at the top, but they didn't go all the way through to the bottom. So there were a couple of holes that had to be drilled, and this was just a little harder to do, so they went ahead and left this on. So we're not going to demonstrate how to put this on today. The other point is that this can be left on for the long term on the Gator, even when you're running the tires. So if you want to switch back and forth between tracks and tires, you can leave the upper one on. Just like for the rears, there will be a lower one we'll have to put on, a lower bracket, so that we can control the attack angle and make sure that we can keep that set properly. And that has to be taken off and put on each time, otherwise it rubs the wheel. Have I talked enough while they're actually working here? So what we're trying to do right now is check the tension on these tracks. They say if the tension's too tight, the tracks wear too much, right? Probably some on the surface, and I'm assuming maybe some in the gear lugs there too. But if there's not enough tension, the tracks can come off, probably especially the front ones. They can derail. And also with a lower tension, if it gets too low, apparently these gears can ratchet basically, or they don't fit good in the gears. So we got to try to get that tension set properly. And what it says is that if you push down with 24 or 25 pounds of force here, that there's supposed to be 3/4 inch of deflection. And there's a tool that you can order. So if your dealer does a lot of these, they should get this track tensioner tool. And we just realized we don't have one. So the guys here have come up with a couple of ideas. Bring that your approach over here.
Should have
Oh,
straight
yeah, so we
edge.
got a straight edge, a steel straight edge. This is like 1/4 inch steel. So you guys got 25 pounds here. And then we're going to try to see what kind of deflection we get. This is our tension tool.
To be about 3/8.
Measure the next one back.
Between 5/8 and 3/4.
Okay.
We're close. Hey, I think
That's
that is
probably good enough.
I think that is 3/4 actually right there, yeah. If I quit moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually like this way of testing now that you've got this rod here. That kind of really focuses that.
Yeah. Yeah, 3/4.
Okay,
That is
now
good.
Now go up one row, Jaron, just to make sure. I'm wanting you to move that thing again and again. I'm wanting you to earn your lunch.
You buying?
3/4. He said he's buying.
Sweet. I guess I am buying. Now, why do you have a set of weights here?
We're just working on ourselves, you know.
Is this really just for fun, or?
No, so I couldn't honestly tell you how those ended up here. However, they come in handy for when we do combine inspections. Keep the seat switch activated. Oh, these look pretty tight.
That's just 3/4.
Yeah.
So
Better loosen those.
that bolt right there.
Does it feel better? That it? You'd think loosening this would loosen that, right?
Yeah.
Let's try that.
That one says straight edge.
Yeah.
After we drop it, you can just put semi in front of it. Semi straight.
Sorta straight.
Did you get it first try?
I think that's like, it'll fit underneath the edge just slightly down on this track or on that notch, and then this one, I'd say that's
Okay, if anything, put one extra turn in it, because they'll loosen a little bit, right? They'll stretch a little bit.
that's what I would
And I
think.
prefer not to have to adjust them out in the snow.
Yeah.
I think you got it figured out with that little piece of tubing there.
Yeah, it's nice. Maybe a couple turns to loosen, just ever so slightly. A little bit more.
Okay, that's all I get to drive it. It's definitely higher off the ground. It'll be interesting to see how much that affects usability. It doesn't feel too bad for me to step up into it, but it may be pretty high for Christy. How much torque do we put on these?
100 foot-pounds.
Have you found the ones that were loose?
Yeah.
Jaron, what do we do to set the speedometer? Because we can recalibrate the speedometer, right, to the tracks?
Yep.
Because the machine won't go near as fast. So how do we go about doing that?
And press and hold the top button here to bring up the main menu.
Okay.
And once you're in there, you push the bottom button to cycle through until you get to tire,
Okay, I see tire there.
and then top button to select,
Uh-huh.
and then bottom button to cycle through. And then
Okay.
once you get your right size, which ours are 14, you just push select again.
The top button again to lock in the 14.
And then you just let it time out.
And so 27 was the first setting. That's the original setting.
Yeah.
14 is the track setting. That's interesting. Now, is there plenty of range in between?
Yes.
So this one has the all-terrain tires, kind of the more road-centric tires. It's 27. Are the kind of off-road, the real knobby tires, are they 27 as well?
I think they're 25.
Okay, so there are several different settings on the tires. Jaron, before I got here, you had actually had these tracks on and you set the attack angle. Tell me a little bit, what does attack angle even mean?
It's the angle in which the tracks sit on the ground.
Okay.
So too far forward, you might dig in. It's going to be a lot more strain on your engine and transmission.
Right.
Too far back, it's going to be all over the place. It's going to not steer very well. We have it set right where it says to.
How do you set that on this? I mean, are the front and rear done the same, or?
Rear, it's really just, you want the smaller rollers as flat as possible.
Okay.
On the front, it actually has indicators on there that you set until, like on this, it'd be a level indicator.
Okay, so
like
it's
with a
just
bubble.
like a bubble level, just like
Right.
any level.
Yeah, and you're just trying to bring that bubble within the range.
And then we just adjust that spring tension along the side there to pull that into range.
Yep.
And it's both side by side. You're able to do this by yourself, and you could sit right there and look at it.
Yep.
Okay, so it wasn't really any issue at all. I wonder if that's going to change over time.
The operator's manual does say to check it after a mile of use.
Well, I tell you what, you go along with us when we do our snow trip, and when we get to exactly 1 mile,
I'll be there.
you hop out. They happen to have another Honor Edition Gator right here on the lot. So we got them side by side here just to see the difference in height, right? This one has the same tires that we had on when we started this morning. It looks like it might be as much as 6 inches. I'm not measuring, but it looks a good bit different. Do you like it? Now I'm probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches further back here, but you can see that the tracks stick out to the rear. Hey, let's check the dump bed and see how it looks. I read in the online instructions that it's possible that the tailgate might hit. So let's see how that looks. So yeah, It hits, but there's no question you could still easily get stuff out. You know, if it'd be bad if it was held like this, right? But I don't see any problem with that. Let's look at just a couple of differences between the 835M HVAC that we have and this Honor Edition Gator that we have now here in Wyoming and Colorado. The Honor Edition comes with a different steering wheel. It's a nicer looking steering wheel. It's got some class to it. It also comes with the headliner. Sun visor here as well, actually two. One on the passenger side as well. And a big deal, rear view mirror. It's a convex mirror, so it gives you a nice wide view. That is a huge addition, something that I've got to get on our Gator in Indiana. It's just a little bit nicer overall. I would say those wheels that come with it, the black wheels, obviously the yellow ones wouldn't look very good on this Honor Edition Gator. I want to talk to you just a moment about the Honor Edition. Some of you may have already commented, well, Tim, you don't deserve an Honor Edition. You're not a veteran. Well, I'm not. That's right. But I felt like I can still honor veterans, and I am very thankful to the men and women who have served to allow us to have freedom here in the U.S. I don't actually deserve to be driving around in this Honor Edition Gator, but hopefully you'll understand that I mean no disrespect. In fact, just the opposite. I mean an enormous amount of respect to those who have served and are currently serving in our armed forces.
Don't go over the culvert.
Jaron, Ryan, I really appreciate you guys helping me get this installation together. I say helping me, I didn't do any of it. I mean, I just watched and, you know, gabbed while they were actually doing the work. But it was a lot of fun working with you guys. So it's fascinating to see the next generation and the skills that you guys have and the passion you apply to your jobs. And that's really good to see. Not everybody has it in this next generation. So it's always good to see when a couple of guys do. And I know they're happy with you here at the local dealer in Cheyenne. And I see a big combine I believe you're working on back there. Yep. And you're working on this little tractor here. I see a 3046R over here that's got some Tractor Time with Tim accessories on the back of it, I noticed. So yeah, you're gonna have to get familiar with some of those so that you can share them with some of the guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Remember, next time we're gonna be in the snow. No short sleeves for me. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work. Did you try to get to full speed, see how fast you could go with it?
No, not my Gator.
I wouldn't have cared.
I think I topped out at 19 before I got freaked out.
Oh, was it going berserk at 19?
It's bumpy. And
Yeah.
if you're not used to it, yeah.